right, the Saloons are coming out onto the track now. The first of their races tonight. And in the 68I car, the blue 68I car, we've got Dean Shearing. In the 69I car is Ewan Shearing. Seen both of those boys up here from Invercargill in the past. Dan Black is in the 22I car, the Porsche. The 47I is Lloyd Phillips, the orange vehicle. In the 57D car, that's Aaron Andrews. He's on the inside. All right, this could be green this time as the field all in order now. Set and ready and racing. And quickly away is Dean Shearing and Ewan Shearing. Look at Mike Verdona from back in the field. He's up to second already. Right around the outside. I told you he'd been doing well all season. Well, he's gone to the lead. Mike Verdona from about fifth on the grid goes whipping around the outside. Going straight through into second place in there is Lloyd Phillips. And Lloyd Phillips raced into second. Then the Shearing boys. We've got Dean Shearing being passed now by Ewan Shearing. Aaron Andrews is in fifth. That's Aaron Andrews is followed back by Dan Black. Then came Mark Newell, Brent George on his inside in the big Super Saloon, and Scotty Helm is out the back. So working up the straight, Mike Verdona clear. Lloyd Phillips is not letting him get too far away though. Lloyd Phillips chasing Mike Verdona down. That's a race in two at the moment. They've cleared out from Ewan Shearing, and then came Dean Shearing, Aaron Andrews, Mark Newell, Dan Black, Brent George, and then followed back by Scotty Helm last. Mike Verdona slides up the front straight, out of turn 4 and now into turn 1. Mike Verdona clear from Lloyd Phillips. He's not too far away though. Lloyd Phillips can chase him down. Mike Verdona, Lloyd Phillips, a big gap to Ewan Shearing, then Dean Shearing, then Aaron Andrews, and Mark Newell is hot on his heels. So Mark Newell goes around the outside of Aaron Andrews. He slides wide, does Mark Newell. He loses that place and now has to pick himself back up to catch Aaron again. Further back is Dan Black, then Scotty Helm and Brent George out the back. So these two have cleared right away. Mike Verdona, my word, he's got some toe, and so too is Lloyd Phillips. We've seen this before in the races this season. Mike Verdona, he slides around a little there. Almost lost it. Brent George did lose it in the big Super Saloon. And he's now trying to catch the pack again. He's well off the pack. Oh, Lloyd Phillips goes around. When trying to chase down Mike Verdona, he's gone around. He holds second. Ewan Shearing's about to come up to him. Lloyd Phillips is going to hold second. So now Mike Verdona is clear. You watch Lloyd Phillips get away from the pack though. He appears to have a bit more grunt than the others. Mike Verdona and Lloyd Phillips, they cleared away from the pack before Lloyd Phillips spun it. Mike Verdona is now clear. Lloyd Phillips starting to pull away from Ewan Shearing, then Dean Shearing, Aaron Andrews, then a gap away to Mark Newell, then Dan Black, and Scotty Helm is about to come up inside of Dan Black and now chase down Mark Newell. Goes between them and around the outside of Mark Newell does Scotty Helm. Mark Newell keeps the pole line and he's trying to come back again. But Scotty Helm's got well clear. Something appears to have... Oh no, I thought something might have been amiss with Mark Newell's car. Dan Black's about to go past him now. So Mike Verdona clear in the lead, the 22T car. He's well clear. Again, Lloyd Phillips is pulling away from the pack in second place. The orange 47I car. He's pulled away from Ewan Shearing, then Dean Shearing. Aaron Andrews is close up on Dean Shearing. Then Scotty Helm from Dan Black, Mark Newell, and the big Super Saloon away at the back, which was Brent George. They got the checkered flag. Mike Verdona clearly the winner. Mike Verdona in the 22 car, Lloyd Phillips second, Ewan Shearing third, Dean Shearing fourth, then Aaron Andrews, Scotty Helm, Dan Black, Mark Newell and Brent George. Mike Verdona grabs the checkered flag and goes around in his victory lap. The winner of the Saloon first heat here tonight.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with 2 locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
He starts from the front of the grid. There's nobody else with him. Aaron Andrews on the outside of Mike Verdona. And then we've got Lloyd Phillips. And then Dan Black, Ewan Shearing, Dean Shearing, Mark Newell, and out the back is Brent George. Mike Verdona's going to try to go the inside straight away. They're racing and through he comes. Mike Verdona straight through. Lloyd Phillips is chasing him through as well, and he's automatically got through into second. Ewan Shearing has come through as well into third. So here we go. The ones that were first and second in the first race in this section are first and second already. Mike Verdona, who won the first heat, he's in front again. Lloyd Phillips is second. In third is Scotty Helm. Ewan Shearing is fourth. Dean Shearing fifth. Then Dan Black. Aaron Andrews. Brent George has passed one. Oh, Scotty Helm's in trouble. Scotty Helm goes round. Dan Black just gives him a little bit of a touch-up. Brent George managed to miss it. But no, it doesn't look like any damage done, apart from the fact that Brent George may well have stalled it. Right, so now Lloyd Phillips is going to have a go at Mike Verdona. They're going to come up against this. Now Brent George, he's got himself going again. So we're still under green. Mike Verdona in front, chased hard by Lloyd Phillips. It was a great battle between these two in the first race. Lloyd Phillips is having a go at Mike Verdona. Mike Verdona will have none of it. Mike Verdona's away in the lead again. Lloyd Phillips chasing him hard. Oh, Dan Black went round. He's going again. So unfortunately in the first race, Lloyd Phillips spun it. But he's in a challenging position here. He's just went a little bit wide in turn one. And has given Mike Verdona the advantage. Dan Black has gone wide as well. He stayed out of trouble and he's letting these quicker runners through. So Mike Verdona has passed Dan Black. Lloyd Phillips is going to get past Dan Black shortly. He's just lost a bit of ground on Mike Verdona though. Dan Black might just be holding him up a little. Now Lloyd Phillips is going the inside of Dan Black. He's trying to get through. Mike Verdona in front. Dan Black stayed wide, allowed Lloyd Phillips through. Scotty Helm's gone infield. And Mark Newell having a bit of trouble with his car as well. It's just a little off song and he's drifted out to the tail. Ewan Shearing and Aaron Andrews having a bit of a battle back in the field, but Mike Verdona is clear in the lead. Lloyd Phillips is trying to chase him down again. Dan Black's in behind those, but he's a lap down. Ewan Shearing currently third, and he's misfiring as well. He's drifting away, and he's gone to the infield. So now Dean Shearing goes into third. Aaron Andrews is fourth. Brent George is fifth. So Dan Black's doing a good job to stay with Lloyd Phillips. Mike Verdona the leader. He's about to get the white flag. Mike Verdona, the 22T car, gets the white flag. 1 lap to go. He's clear of Lloyd Phillips. Dan Black's doing a good job to stick with Lloyd Phillips here in the Porsche, even though he's a lap down. He looks like he's third, but he's not. Lloyd Phillips going wide. Mike Verdona will get the check-in. Mike Verdona gets the win. Lloyd Phillips second. Dean Shearing will come round and get third in the blue car. So Dean Shearing will get third. Aaron Andrews will be fourth. Brent George. Mark Newell will complete the course. And Dan Black will come round to complete the course as well. So there you go. There's the second of our Saloons. Ewan Shearing didn't complete the course, and neither did Scotty Helm. The second of our Saloon races. Mike Verdona takes it out, 2 races down, and he's won both of them. And again, a good start, got right through on the inside. Lloyd Phillips chased him all the way, but couldn't catch him. And he was second again. Dean Shearing will be third. Mark Newell actually could have finished fourth in that.
At Mag and Turbo, we're not just a mag wheel shop, we're a supermarket for tyres. Street, track or economy, we have a performance tyre to suit your driving and your budget. 17-inch tyres from $119, 18-inch tyres from $139 and 19-inch tyres from $179. When you buy tyres off us, you get one of these. Free tyre rotation, puncture repairs and alignment checks for the life of the tyres. If you need performance tyres, give us a call. 0800 MAGS for you.
Now this is the Saloon. Very, very interesting. After seeing the Saloons racing, not just tonight, but also over the last few weeks, it appears to be that Mike Verdona and Lloyd Phillips are the two that have the most speed. So when these two clash, if they do clash, it'll certainly be a competitive outing. All right, looks like the first two up for grabs are Dan Black and Scott Helm. Dan Black has the inside and Scott Helm has the outside. The rest of them are in the infield. Dan Black in the Porsche and Scott Helm on the outside in a Corvette. Green light. Dan Black, Scott Helm. Dan Black with the inside running. Scott Helm around the outside. Dan Black has the tighter line and takes the lead. Scott Helm into the fence going down the back. But he's all okay, and now he races right up and behind Dan Black. Oh, and he loses it, Scott Helm. He loses it. He does a 360 and gets himself back on the track and is chasing again, but Dan Black's had the white flag, and this is all over. Dan Black away in the lead. Scotty Helm has elected to go into the infield. He knows his race is over. And Dan Black goes through to take victory here in the first round against Scott Helm. We did see in the, I think it was the second Saloons here tonight, the second race, that I think Dan Black might have spun out in one of the races, and Mike Verdona and also Lloyd Phillips were first and second, and they eventually passed Dan Black, but Dan Black did a great job to stay with them. Even though he was a lap down, he stayed with Mike Verdona and Lloyd Phillips and didn't lose any ground to them, which just shows you how much speed that little Porsche has. All right, Dan Black is now joined by Mark Newell. Dan Black selected to take the inside. Mark Newell has the outside. Coming round to get the green. They get it. Dan Black gets the upper hand early on. Mark Newell is in behind. He's got a bit of speed as Dan Black. And he's drawing away from Mark Newell. To be fair, Mark's car hasn't been going that well tonight. White flag coming up for Dan Black, and he's cleared away from Mark Newell already. Mark Newell's car's just been a little bit off song throughout the night. And he can't catch Dan Black. So Dan Black comes around and gets the checkered flag. And Mark Newell will end up back in the infield. All right, Ewan Shearing is coming out. Ewan Shearing's going back into the infield. I don't know what the story is there. So Ewan Shearing came out momentarily and then went back into the infield. So I think they're about to send Aaron Andrews out. They are. So Aaron Andrews comes out onto the track now. So again, Dan Black has elected to take the inside line, which has worked well for him so far. Aaron Andrews is on the outside. All right, Dan Black and Aaron Andrews. Here we go. Top Gun shootout, this time in the Saloons. Racing. Aaron Andrews is sticking with Dan Black. Dan Black, Aaron Andrews. Aaron Andrews around the outside. Dan Black has the advantage of that pole line. Aaron Andrews has the speed up though. And Aaron Andrews straight past Dan Black. But he can't cross down onto the marker line. And Dan Black's trying to come through on the inside, but he can't now. And now Aaron Andrews has got a clear lead with 1 lap to go. Aaron Andrews is drawn away from Dan Black. So here we go. The local boy, Aaron Andrews. And the Invercargill boy, Dan Black. This time, the local boy, Aaron Andrews, is showing Dan Black how to do it. Aaron Andrews gets the checkered flag. He wins it comfortably.
White balance on the water truck after the Top Gun.
Dan Black did very, very well. But Aaron Andrews had his measure that time and forces Dan Black into the infield. Now we've got Dean Shearing coming out. So Dan Black, of course, had done so well with the pole line, and he elected to take the pole line against Aaron Andrews. So Aaron Andrews had to start from the outside, and he did a great job to get the speed up and go right around the outside of Dan Black. But this time he's elected to take the pole line. So Aaron Andrews takes the pole line up against Dean Shearing this time. Round they come. Green flag about to drop. Racing. And Dean Shearing gets the upper hand here. Dean Shearing with the brake, and immediately Aaron Andrews goes to the outside. So he could have elected to take the outside if he wanted to, but he's elected to take the inside, and Dean Shearing got the jump on Aaron Andrews. Aaron Andrews is trying to get around him, but he can't do it, and Dean Shearing has the brake. Dean Shearing with the brake got a little bit side on there, 1 lap to go. Aaron Andrews, he comes around the outside now as he got the momentum going. He can't quite get it. Dean Shearing in front. Aaron Andrews can't quite catch him, can he? Or can he? He goes straight past him going into that bend. He's got the momentum. Aaron Andrews around the outside on the last lap and on the last bend, and he's done it again. Well, this will be interesting. Will he elect to take the outside, or will he elect to go the inside again? What a great drive by Aaron Andrews. Again, the Dunedin boy beats the Invercargill boy. Well, he wasn't holding anything back there, Aaron Andrews. But if he thought that was difficult, he ain't seen nothing yet. Because now, Aaron Andrews, who elects again to go the inside to take the pole line, he's now up against Lloyd Phillips. This will be interesting. Invercargill boy Lloyd Phillips, Aaron Andrews the Dunedin boy, they're racing. Lloyd Phillips gains the upper hand on the outside, straight to the lead. He's got a lot of power, has Lloyd Phillips. He drifts wide, Lloyd Phillips, and Aaron Andrews has got back underneath him here. Aaron Andrews with the lead back. Lloyd Phillips goes past him, but goes wide again, and Aaron Andrews comes through once again and gains the upper hand and gets a bit of a break. 1 lap to go. Oh, he's got a handy break now, has Aaron Andrews. Aaron Andrews, he's got a handy break against Lloyd Phillips. Round he comes around the final bend, and Lloyd Phillips, he can't do it. Aaron Andrews, a big leader and a big win. Aaron Andrews takes it out ahead of Lloyd Phillips. Well, he got the jump on Aaron, did Lloyd Phillips. But he, with the speed that he had, he was just taken a little bit wide on the bends. And Aaron Andrews had the better line. And 3 wins now for Aaron Andrews. He's only got 1 to go, but it's a big one. Aaron Andrews now takes on Mike Verdona. And so far tonight in this section, Mike Verdona has won both races. Lloyd Phillips has finished second in both races. So Mike Verdona's certainly got the speed. But can he win a race in 2? Aaron Andrews elects to take the pole line. Mike Verdona has the outside. Mike Verdona gets the jump. And again, clearly goes to a clear lead. Aaron Andrews trying to chase him down. Mike Verdona's electing to take the pole line right the way through. Lloyd Phillips, of course, was drifting wide on the bends. Mike Verdona's not doing that. Mike Verdona's hugging the pole line. Aaron Andrews can't get through underneath. Mike Verdona's got more speed. It's the last lap. Mike Verdona. Aaron Andrews is trying to catch him, but Mike Verdona's got more speed, and he does hug the pole line. Coming up to take the checkered flag, Mike Verdona takes out the Top Gun Saloon event. Aaron Andrews certainly game in defeat though. Took out Dan Black, took out Dean Shearing, took out Lloyd Phillips, but couldn't withstand the challenge of Mike Verdona. And Mike Verdona the winner in the Saloon section of the Top Gun. Got a great effort by Aaron Andrews as well. All the way from Cromwell, Mike Verdona.
Want a great night out for all the family? Want great value? Need excitement? Need action, thrills, speed and spills? Then you need to be at your local Speedway's next race meeting. It's got it all! Speedway, the entertainment sport.
Alright, these are the, this is the teams race here. The teams race for the Saloons. And it's going to be interesting because we've got 6 of them out there. So Mark Newell's not starting and Ewan Shearing's not starting. So one from Dunedin and one from Invercargill not starting. So that's, we've got Luke Phillips from Invercargill has drawn the inside. Aaron Andrews from Dunedin has drawn the outside. Then we've got Scott Helm from Dunedin on the inside, and Dean Shearing from Invercargill on the outside. We've got Dan Black from Invercargill on the inside, Mike Verdona racing for Dunedin on the outside, and Brent George is not taking any part in it. Mark Newell's gone to the infield. So Mark Newell and Ewan Sheeran, I think Mark's just out there to test his car. He's got an electrical fault with that vehicle. Mark Newell, an electrical problem with that car. This is all up for grabs now. Here we go. Green light, is it? Yes. And Luke Phillips gets the jump. Luke Phillips, Aaron Andrews around the outside. Luke Phillips for Invercargill, Aaron Andrews for Dunedin. Scott Helm for Dunedin next, then Dean Shearing for Invercargill. Mike Verdona's gone the inside of Dean Shearing. Mike Verdona racing for Dunedin. Then Dan Black for Invercargill back second to last, and Brent George at the tail of the field. But it's Luke Phillips for Invercargill, from Aaron Andrews from Dunedin. Scott Helm gets underneath of Aaron Andrews. Both those two Dunedin runners, and round goes Dean Shearing, and he just missed Dan Black. Just missed Dan Black. Scott Helm goes round. Scott Helm for Dunedin does a complete 360, faces the right way and carries on, but Dan Black passes him, and Brent George might have stalled it. Brent George, I think, stalled it. So here we go. Now Brent George has got it going, but we're under amber. We're under amber. He eventually got it going, but they brought the race under amber. So the two that have been first and second for quite a number of races, Luke Phillips and Mike Verdona, they are currently first and second, so Mike Verdona must have got in front of Aaron Andrew when I wasn't looking. However, they may well revert back the other way. We'll see when this happened, when they went to amber, because they'll go back a lap probably. In the positions that they were, back a lap. Now Dean Shearing's come back out onto the track as well. And you can see there that Dan Black and Scott Helm are alongside each other because they don't know what position they were in. Luke Phillips in front. Green, go! Luke Phillips in front. Second is Aaron Andrews. Third is Scott Helm. Mike Verdona back into fourth. You watch him pick them up. Mike Verdona goes the inside of Scott Helm. Down the back he goes. He gets himself into third. Very quick car. Very good drive. Mike Verdona in third. Luke Phillips in front. Aaron Andrews second. Mike Verdona third. Then Scott Helm. Dan Black looking to get underneath of Scott Helm. Then Dean Shearing and Brent George out the back in the Super Saloon. Invercargill first, Dunedin second, third, fourth, Invercargill fifth and sixth. Luke Phillips cleared out. Luke Phillips, Mike Verdona looking to get underneath of Aaron Andrews and doing a good job, and he's got through. Now you'll see him close in on the leader. Luke Phillips the leader. Mike Verdona, he'll set out after him now. Luke Phillips might have a big enough break, but Mike Verdona won't give in without a fight. Closing up already as Luke Phillips went a little wide. Oh, round goes down Black, and Dean Shearing and Brent George, they spun just to avoid him. And again, Brent George in a awkward position here. Again, he must have stalled it when he spun. He's got it going again. Righto, well this will give Mike Verdona a big chance. A big chance because the gaps will close. Where Luke Phillips had the advantage, the only advantage he's got is that he is still in front of Mike Verdona. But he doesn't have that buffer of a gap. Mike Verdona will be right on his hammer. Here we go. Green, go. Luke Phillips in front of Mike Verdona. Luke Phillips in front, Mike Verdona second. Third is Aaron Andrews. Fourth is Scott Helm. Fifth is Dean Shearing. And then we've got Dan Black and Brent George. Mike Verdona closing in. Luke Phillips in front. Mike Verdona closing in. Could Luke Ellis please go to the tower? Oh, Brent George round again at the tail of the field, but he keeps going. Luke Ellis to the tower, please. Urgent message for Luke Ellis to the tower, please. Luke Phillips is hanging on. Mike Madonna can't catch him. Not yet anyway. There is still time. Luke Phillips, Mike Madonna closing up. Aaron Andrews third, Scott Helm fourth. Then Dean Shearing, Dan Black, Brent George out the back. Not too many laps left. Luke Phillips, Mike Madonna's not letting him out of his sight. One false move from Luke Phillips and Mike will have him. Luke Phillips, Mike Madonna switches to the outside. Luke Phillips in front. Mike Madonna second. Mike Madonna closing in on Luke Phillips, but he's doing a good job as Luke Phillips. Mike Madonna thought he saw an inside gap there, couldn't make it. Here comes the white flag, 1 lap to go. Luke Phillips, he's holding on from Mike Madonna. Invercargill from Cromwell, who races for Dunedin. Luke Phillips, one more turn to negotiate. Luke Phillips for Invercargill takes the checkered flag. Mike Madonna second for Dunedin. Aaron Andrews third for Dunedin. Scotty Helm fourth for Dunedin. Dean Shearing for Invercargill is fifth. Dan Black for Invercargill is sixth. And Brent George. He cuts home at the tail of the field. And spins it again. He's done that a fair bit in this race. Full of power, that big Super Saloon. Full of power. Alright, that's the team's race. Luke Phillips taking it out. Okay, so Luke Phillips gets the checkered flag and goes on his lap of honour. Oh, Lloyd Phillips, I've been calling him Luke Phillips. It's Lloyd Phillips. It's Luke Ellis that we needed to the tower. Message went out for Luke Ellis to the tower. That confused me. Lloyd Phillips gets the win here.